So today's day 9. Steve and I slept in pretty late today, considering we got back about 8:30 this morning. So I woke up around 2 o'clock and started working on the bear some. But for day 9, we're just taking it easy and thought we'd give you a little tour of bear camp. So behind me you can see our skinning shelter. This is just in case it rains. We don't want to get that bear hide too wet. It already weighs enough as it is. We don't need to add that extra few pounds of water in the hide. And then we've got the Hilleberg Nallo Gt2, great tent for 2 people. That's kind of been home for the last week and a half. Right down here we've got the creek. This is where we've been getting all of our fresh water. We've been trying to choose a camp location that has a good creek running through it, that we know we'll always have water available when we get back late at night. And then just below camp is the actual river that's running through our hunt unit. So we've been using that kind of as the main corridor to move up and down. We've been staying on the south side so we can just keep glassing those south facing slopes, and it obviously worked out. We got a bear down. So we're just going to take you through a quick tour of camp. Whenever we get the time, we'd like to try to dry out the waders. They've been getting pretty dirty. The lagoon here is full of this oily mud. So whenever we get the chance, we'll dry them out. That way they're not frozen the next time we put them on. For our skinning shack, Steve's buddy let us borrow a Kelty Noah's Tarp 12. Right now we're not dealing with too much rain, but the rain is in the forecast. So this has kind of been my home for about the past 6-7 hours. Just cleaning up this bear, getting off that extra fat, little chunks of meat, clean it up for the taxidermist, and it's definitely going to make for a lighter pack on the way down. So for cooking, we did bring 2 stoves, but we've been using my Jetboil. Easy, fast boiling water, mainly mountain houses. And you can see both Steve and I, we pack up our daily food in a bag. I just happen to label mine. This isn't full, but you know, I eat things like 2 honey stingers, Heather's Choice packaroons, some Belvita breakfast bars, and then I always got my drink mixes in here as well, so they're always with me. I don't keep anything separated anymore. Tea for going to bed, coffee for waking up, and then a boost of Crystal Light during the day, and usually an emergency as well. And the only thing not in that bag that I usually carry around is about 5 to 7 ounces worth of trail mix per day, and then something like a Mountain House. Steve's gonna have sweet and sour pork tonight. For a water system, basically we use the Hiker Pro by Kodiak. I run the platypus bags. I usually carry 3 of these in my pack. That way I can at least leave 2 of them full back at camp. Can get back, have water for that evening's meal, and then enough water for coffee, tea, anything like that in the morning. And I'll take the 3rd one with me in my pack. Always bring out the Snow Peak cup and the Sea to Summit spork. I just hate drinking coffee straight from this thing, so this is worth the extra about 3 ounces to throw in the pack. Got our trash collected up right here. This is a couple days worth, honestly, but what we've been doing is we've been storing it away from camp up on the hillside. That way we can see it in case anything's messing with it. And what I like to do is I like to cover it up. If you can't hang it, or you just don't want to hang it, as long as you can put it in a location, try to cover up the scent. I usually grab a bunch of moss, leaves, stuff it over on top of a hole. That way it just covers up that natural food scent. Let's take a look at the Hilleberg. Like I said, this is a Hilleberg Nallo Gt2. Basically the Gt2 means 2-person, and the GT would be, it's got this extra large vestibule. This, for all my Alaska hunts for 2 people, has been my go-to tent. with this tent, I mean, you've got more than enough space if you're going to get stuck for a couple days. And that's definitely happened on a few sheep hunts, mountain goat hunt, and then now the bear hunt. We've definitely had some bad weather days. Having that extra room to spread out your gear here on the inside, it's got enough room to put both of our packs up front, and then usually when we go in for the night, everything just kind of gets laid on top of there. So we can dry it out, air it out, and then if it is really bad weather, you don't want to go outside, it's got enough room for cooking right up front. So this is my bunk right here with the North Face down sleeping bag, Big Egg, and this is Steve. Both run kind of a little bit different systems, but generally the same. I run a 15-degree bag for the majority of my hunts. It's always been enough, and if it's not, I can throw on my puffy bottoms, my puffy top, crawl in there, shove them down on my feet, keep my feet warm, wear a hat at night. That definitely helps you retain some extra heat, but if anything, it's almost been a little overkill for some of these hunts. Got the 44 mag right in between us. That's the go-to bear protection, just in case somebody decides to come knocking in the middle of the night. But we've got that, and then I usually also chamber a round in my rifle at night, just as that extra precaution. If one of us has the pistol, someone can get the rifle as one of us heads out the tent, and that way we're both armed and ready for anything that might come into camp. But as far as camp goes, I mean, that's pretty much it. This is a pretty good setup. Of course, the pack in is always heavy when you got that extra food, but I mean, we're going to be taking off towards the beach. We're going to be traveling up the valley tomorrow. We figure it's going to take 2 loads to get both camp and the bear out. The bear takes up the entirety of my pack, so there's no way I can pack out camp and the bear at the same time. So we'll go with a lighter load with camp down tomorrow, and then we'll come back for the bear and the skull and probably the waders as a second trip. But I think we'll be camping down the beach tomorrow, get a pickup on Monday morning from Island Air. Found a good location on Onyx. It's different from where we got dropped off, but it's a lot closer to camp and the walk is a lot easier. If we were to go back up and over the mountain, it would probably take us a little bit more than a day and a half at least to get up and over to that beach. So only about 1.5 miles to the beach, but not too far. Camp be light with a little bit of extra food being eaten over the next 24 hours. But yeah, great Kodiak bear camp.